Hey guys, Bran here, and welcome to 5 helpful Xenomorph techs. I want to give you guys 5 of the most helpful Xenomorph techs. That way you can use these to make your Xeno games even easier. If you need starting tips, I have that video right here. So I checked that out before this one, as many of those techs will assume that you know the basics. I also did write a full extensive 300-page Xenomorph guide if you're ready to digest just about everything there is to know about the Xenomorph. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. Number 1. Take the Pallet tech. While the Xenomorph excels at dealing with loops, sometimes pallets can be frustrating. Many times you'll go for a tail attack and the survivor will greet the pallet unexpectedly, then just return and plop it right in your face. However, there's a way to circumvent this scenario entirely. When you go for the tail attack at the pallet, hold forward to move the Xenomorph themselves through the pallet. At a certain point, the survivor will lose the prompt for the pallet drop as you will now be blocking it. Now, you simply wait for your cooldown and hit the basic attack on the survivor, guaranteeing a win-win situation. Number 2, the drive-through tech. This is probably my favorite tech on this list, as it's probably the most satisfying to pull off. This tech can be applied to any window attached to a long wall like shack, long wall jungle gyms, 4-lane windows, etc. I'm sure you've been in a situation before where a survivor vaults one of these powerful windows and you have trouble handling it. Either you vault through after them or you take the long way around. Either way, this often gives the survivor more free loops of the tile. There is, however, a way to circumvent this. After the survivor vaults the window and runs a direction, begin to run the opposite direction of the way that they ran. If the survivor is paying attention, they'll notice you aren't following them and double back, crossing back in front of the window. This is where you fake and turn back to the window, throwing a tail attack at the survivor as they pass by the window. I do want to say, as a disclaimer, this tech may not work consistently because many survivors just kind of autopilot. They don't really pay attention. So this is for survivors that are actually looking and trying to mind game you, trying to react to you, whereas the autopilot survivors probably won't fall for this. Number 3, the bait tech. Ratting has unfortunately become a very popular playstyle in recent years. The most common circumstance being a survivor hiding by a gen and waiting for you to go away, just so they can hop back on it the moment that you leave. However, the Xenomorph can circumvent this situation very well. If you suspect that a survivor is ratting by a nearby gen, find your nearby control station and dive in. Wait a few seconds, and if you are right, you should see the Xenomorph's built-in footfall show up as the survivor reapproaches the generator as long as they were within 16 meters of you in the tunnels. Number 4, the 2-for-1 combo. This tech is very specific but also fun when you get to pull it off. One of the most frustrating parts of the Xenomorph is the movement speed penalty that applies when you miss an attack, slowing you down to a whopping 1.2 meters a second. This is at its worst when you use the tail attack to destroy a turret, since the only thing that counts as a quote-unquote hit is when the tail attack connects with the survivor, meaning that even if you hit a turret, it does not count as a hit. However, you can use this to your advantage actually. When you see a survivor running next to a turret, go for a strafe attack, starting from the turret side and then finishing on the survivor side. Because hitting a turret counts as a miss, quote-unquote, your hitbox does not actually deactivate, allowing you to hit both the turret and the survivor in one fell swoop. Number 5, the anti-body block tech. Body blocking can be one of the most powerful tools a survivor team can use, especially if they are coordinating. Most killers cannot do anything about this situation, but the Xenomorph can, in multiple ways. Firstly, if 2 survivors are right next to each other in a line, you can strafe the tail attack horizontally around the first survivor and clip the survivor behind them at the end of the strafe. This version of the anti-body block tech is especially helpful when survivors approach the hook and unhook from the opposing side, using the unhooking survivor as a shield. Additionally, if there is some distance between the 2 survivors while body blocking, you can actually arc up and over the first survivor with the tail attack, hitting the survivor on the other side. Between the two of these, the horizontal anti-body block tech has been far more consistent for me, but both are a great way to get around pesky body blockers. Bonus tech, outside in. This tech is just a bonus because it can hardly be called a tech because it is so simple, but it's actually one of your most helpful hints you can have for the Xenomorph's tail attack. In addition, this actually also works on Nemesis. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this one. You will often run into situations while chasing a survivor where the survivor is hugging a wall tightly while looping. This can be a stressful situation when you're going for a tail attack, because if you shoot straight, they will often dodge away from the wall and out of the way of your attack. Even if you strafe, it can be hard to guess where they're going to dodge. However, if you start your strafe from the outside of the wall, then drag it inwards towards the wall, then you cover all possible options that they could dodge in that scenario. So if you're going to go for a strafing tail attack while survivor's hugging a wall, start from the outside and then pull it towards the wall, because they can quite literally not get out of the way. And that's the 5 most helpful Xenomorph techs. Hopefully these will help your Xenomorph games go a little smoother. Let me know if any of these end up helping you down in the comments below. Other than that, hopefully this video made your day a little bit better. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. And if I do not, well, you know what I say. I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.